chances, had 4 of them in one game. 13 unforced errors, 5 on the volleys. That's unusual, but boy, it's the blistering ground strokes of Sampras that we thought might change this one around. And the big difference, the serve percentage is 62% for Sampras, and he's getting a good look at Edberg's second serve because Edberg's only got 48% of serves into play.
Sampras serving. He trails 1-0 in the second set after winning that first set.
Well, this time during the week, around about 11 o'clock, working day, we didn't have capacity as far as the stands were concerned, but today, on Saturday, the first semi-final, this one going all over the country via ESPN, it is packed. There's no seats available here.
Daytime sessions have been sold out pretty much all week, but they just weren't here.
At 11 o'clock in the morning. No, they're creating records every day here. It's just a fabulous setting for tennis, and Hyatt people do a great job here, along with Charlie Passerelle and Ray Moore.
Good coverage by Edberg, and approach shot called long. Sampras glances over at Paulo Pereira in the chair as if to say, are you sure about that one? And he's not going to get any change. 15-all, watch.
Great little return down low. Shows you how quickly Stefan Edberg tracks the ball down the baseline. Now, you don't see that shot too often anymore, that little angle backhand dip. And the ball just a little bit long. Pete Sampras gave the ball a good long look, but 15-all.
This goes to show you that if you get in a position where you get caught and you cannot muscle the ball, hit it with power, a good little angle does just as well. You used to like that little backhand shot.
Well, I mean, that was actually a lot of the players that used to play. McEnroe used that shot really well, and we sort of learned a lot of that from the way you used to play. You used to use that little backhand dink well.
The reason he used it well was the only shot he had on the backhands. Game point here, Sampras. Fred, you and I are just black and blue today, haven't beaten up on each other as badly as we have.
I haven't
That's
started
okay.
yet.
Sampras holds on, and it is 1-game all in the second set. First set to Sampras. The Lipton Championships coming up your way at the end of next week. Top players scheduled to compete: Pete Sampras and Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario. They both won it last year. And then Jim Courier, Steffi Graf, Sabatini will also be there. Wimbledon champ Boris Becker, Michael Chang, Andre Agassi, Lendl, Bruguera, Medvedev, Goran Ivanisevic. 3.3 million in all. Lipton is another one of the majors on the IBM ATP Tour. It's one of the Super 9. So is this one. One of the reasons that they have such a good field there.
Lipton also is the only one of the 2 events where the men and the women compete alongside one another, apart from the Grand Slams.
30 love. They have a brand new stadium, which I understand from everybody.
Fabulous.
Fred, I haven't seen it. It's just great.
I went to the opening, and Butch and Cliff Buchholz and Dade County, all those folks that got together on that did a terrific job.
30 love.
Edberg's starting to look a little more relaxed with his first serve, starting to become a bit more effective with it here in the second set. He's had a couple easy service games in a row.
Yeah, he didn't have any rhythm in the first set. You think that's just, you know, you get out there and you know you've got to serve well and you press a little bit too much.
Ooh, that had nice touch on it. Fred earlier mentioned that he doesn't see much weakness in Pete Sampras' game, and I couldn't agree with Fred more. There's not really a shot that Pete Sampras cannot hit. And that time, what looked to be a forehand drive was a nice topspin lob right over the head.
And if you don't get him out wide here, Pete Sampras just takes one step, good shoulder turn, and then that's it. Blistering forehand speed.
When he won the Open first time, Sampras, he beat some pretty darn fine players. Lendl among them, who was the #1 then. He also beat McEnroe and then Andre Agassi. That was back in 1990 that Sampras won his first US Open. He's ahead in this match.
A lot of golf courses around the area here. Pete Sampras won the first set 6-3 here and 2-1. And Pete Sampras himself was a golfer. We think we've got a couple of hot-shot golfers up here. Not me, of course, but Pete Sampras has got a little bit of respect for one of our boys up here. We'll let you find out who.
Well, I'm a little down against your boy Vitas Gerulaitis, that guy, and you know, I tend to play for a bit of money. I played with Martin before the Australian and took you know, a bit of money from him, and Kruger I played with this week, but Vitas seems like he comes through against me. I don't know why. He plays about 8 hours a day.
Well, Vitas does play a good 36 holes a day before the telecast, after the telecast, goes and practices in the room, knocks out a couple of light bulbs.
And sometimes from my comments, you might be thinking that I'm playing during the telecast, but I am not. I'm concentrating on tennis.
Big serve, and we've got a big guy up here, or he thinks he's a big guy on the golf course, and he thinks he's our best golfer, but this is what Pete Sampras says about him.
I haven't played with Drowsy, but I've heard from just about everyone that he's a greasy, snaky, you know, he says he's a 16, but he's really a 6. You know, he's that type of player. Whereas Vitas he's a hard worker, and if his handicap's an 8, he'll tell you it's an 8, whereas Drysdale, he's just an artist.
Well, there you go. Now, that is respect. I don't know whether you folks at home picked that up, but Pete Sampras referred to Vitas as Vitas, and my other mate he called Drysdale. So that is, he didn't say, well, the clip, he says Drysdale is a snake, and we all know that.
Sampras let it go. Shouldn't have. 30 all.
Well, that really was just misjudged by Pete Sampras. He could have put this ball away, overhit it a little bit right back to the middle of the court. Now he's set up to hit the shot. Moves back into the center of the court, and he's set up. He could have touched it, and then all of a sudden the ball just drops well within about 3-4 yards of the court. So really bad judgment from Pete Sampras.
30 all. Down the line, and Edberg's got a break point. As you've been saying, you two, at least some of the sense that you've been making is that things are beginning to turn around a little bit here. Edberg is really turning it on. Watch this.
As a wide serve gets our Stefan Edberg out, and Stefan Edberg, one of his best shots is that backhand passing shot on the run. Great preparation, and boy, he wants this one.
Break point. Oh, he couldn't have hit the return any better, could he?
And Fred, I was wondering, would he go to the forehand again and actually try to fool Stefan Edberg, went to the backhand, but a blistering return from Stefan Edberg. But look at the volley from Pete Sampras. He gets in tight, gets the racket out in front, really had to sort of manipulate the racket, sort of coming inside out, and a clean winner. That was a great reaction from Pete Sampras.
As hard as he hit the serve, he was behind the serve line when he hit the volley too. Very tough volley to make. There's an ace. Game point.
128 mile an hour, and the crowd know that clock, and they just look at that thing and say, how can somebody hit a tennis ball that hard? That's got to be #1 for the week.
7
it is.
Aces now.
And keep it in the service box. Tremendous. Oh!
You can get close, but it is so tough just to go that extra few inches to break Pete Sampras, and it hasn't happened in the match yet. 2 games all in the second set.
Well, Fred, I have an opportunity to spend a lot of time with Pete Sampras, and maybe that's why he was nice enough to say some of those nice things about me, but he's one of the most natural athletes that I've ever had a chance to spend time with. You can see that on the golf course just by the way he hits the ball. I mean, everything is very natural, everything is very fluid.
And he does have a great personality because he knows Clip.
Now, listen, I am very, very sensitive, as you know, Fred, so I want you to get off my back now. Sampras, I can take it.
Oh.